Hi everyone, it's Vic from App Forever Scrapping, sharing with you a 12 by 12 process video using a cut file. I like to use cut files every now and again. I think they're great fun and a lovely way to add some interest to your page, take it maybe to another level, and they're also brilliant for using up scraps of your paper that you have left from other projects. So the cut file that I picked here, sorry about the squeaking in the background, that's my dog turning around in her bed. The cut file that I'm using here is from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I thought this sloth cut file would be perfect. When I saw it, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. I had some photographs from a year ago that I'd taken on my phone. I never delete my photos. I don't know what you're like, but I have thousands of them on my phone. And I remember that I'd taken these photos of Caris hanging from the monkey bars in the play park, pulling funny faces and just basically being a cheeky little monkey that she is. It's her favourite thing to do, hanging upside down and goofing around. So I captured quite a few photos and I decided that I would have her hanging out with the sloth. So that was the idea behind the page, and I absolutely love how it turned out. I think it worked really, really well. So I'm using the papers from the Heidi Swap collection called Storyline. They're by American Crafts and a little bit different for the paper colours for me, but I'd seen some of them in the that other people have been using, and I thought, oh, I quite like those colours, something a little bit different. So use that for my background blue piece of paper, and I wanted to try and create like a scene on my page, so that it was like she was still at the park. So the grass was actually, I think that was from, that's a Paige Evans piece of paper from the Bloom Street collection. It had some florals on the other side, but it was really cute with little ditzy print on it, and I decided that would be perfect to create like the landscape bit. So I ripped that across to give it sort of like the effect of rolling grass, and stuck that down. Well, didn't stick it down straight away. Those of you that know me and follow me on YouTube will know that I'm not the sort of person to stick something down straight away. So the sloth cut file, what I've done is I've traced around the cut file of the animal and then cut it with my scissors. Still have a little bit to trim there between the legs, as you can see. I then realised once I started to stick it down that actually the face should have been a lighter colour, so luckily I could pick that up and just quickly draw around the outline with a pencil quickly before the glue all dried. I always find if you've got trickier cut files, it's better to either use your cutting machine and offset it so that you can cut the shapes that you need to back the cut file with, or just to simply use your cut file as a template and use the pencil to draw around the outline of the shape that you need. Cut it out, and then most of the time it fits, but it's quite easy just to trim up a few little bits poking through if necessary. So I've backed my sloth and just using tiny little bits of that leftover green paper just to back the leaves on the tree that it's hanging from. Now when I decided to use this cut file, I didn't think really, I can't really have it just sort of hanging in the page like floating in no man's land, and didn't really think about how I was going to ground it. So I did go and get another cut file that I'd already got in my library and adapted it to make it look like a branch coming out, and managed to cover the attachment of that tree branch with the sloth with some bits so it looked like it was one piece. So I cut out some of my flowers that are around that circle there. The circle piece actually came from the inside of a journaling card that I'd used on another layout previously. And then the flowers, loved the mustard colour on this. It was a Jen Hadfield paper. Not really sure what it's called. Maybe Homemade, possibly. Anyway, it's one of the new Jen Hadfield papers, and I love the mustard colour with these black outline flowers. So fussy cut around them, which is something that I really enjoy doing, as you'll know. But I wanted to try and keep some of that yellow around them just to make them pop off the page a little bit more. I think it would have been really hard to fussy cut exactly to the black line. So I wanted to just take that mustard colour through my layout a bit and tuck that behind my green layer, just to add another layer of dimension and depth. So there we go, there's my adapted tree that I've done. You can see I'm just fiddling around just so that the sloth is actually attached to something on the edge of the page and not just floating in midair by some kind of superpower. So I managed to cover up the join between the sloth and that tree branch, as you can see, with one of Karis's legs, and it worked quite well. I also didn't have enough of the coloured paper that I'd used to back the branch on that sloth cut file, so I had to do a bit of patchwork on my other branch bits. So there were a few little join lines there, but I've covered those up later on with some flowers, so you wouldn't have known any different unless I'd have told you. So just making sure that my cut file's well stuck down now. I tend to use Cosmic Shimmer glue with everything. I love the fine tip nozzle on the end of it. It's great for getting into all the little nooks and crannies and having a little bit more of a precise application of my glue. So just deciding where Karis is going to go. It was really just a case of deciding where all those flowers were going to go that I'd fussy cut, doing my journaling, and adding my title. So I'm committing now to where all my little details are going to go. Where those flowers are going to go, just so that I've got enough room to do a bit of journaling on there. I also decided that I'd try and stash bust some of my acrylic perspectives by Bramble Fox that I'd received, and not received, I'd bought them, but got so many of them on the side that I really need to use some. So in order to do this, you must make sure that you peel the protective layer off the front and the back of your acrylic perspective, and then I just use my Cosmic Shimmer glue again to stick it down. I thought Moment Captured fitted perfectly, and the Cosmic Shimmer glue is fantastic for sticking these perspectives down. So this has been Vic. You can find me over on Instagram at Forever Scrapping. I hope you've enjoyed my process video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and like it, and subscribe. That would be fantastic. Hopefully I've inspired you to try something different and have a little bit of fun with some cut files on your layouts.